Number 2 in book 3 is Minuet by Bach. They're going to recognize this from book 1. It's the same tune as Minuet 3, but a little bit fancier. And we have an extra page in this part. So the new concept in this one is shifting. It's the first song that we shift in. You'll notice that in the part there are opportunities to shift. I like to use them, but if you feel like the student needs more time just getting comfortable with shifting exercises, you can keep them in first position. And I'll go through those spots. In terms of order of the sections, it's pretty straightforward. A1 is the first 3 lines, B1, next 3 lines, A2, first 3 lines of page 2, and B2, second 3 lines of page 2. You've got your Minuet 1 and your Minuet 2 sections. All right, in order to teach, I start with Minuet 2 because it's a lot trickier, obviously, because I don't know it. And they're shifting and it's minor and things like that. So the first thing that I teach is A2 measures 4 through 8. And I split it into a sequence of steps. So the first thing that I do is in measure 4, I practice getting between those 2 notes. So the first D is in first position, and then replace with a 1. See if they can get that really in tune back and forth. Don't stress speed, just stress accuracy. They're going to want to go really fast, but you have time. This isn't a really fast piece. So they're going to have plenty of time to shift. So that's step number 1, just going back and forth between third finger and first finger. The next thing I teach is a mini scale in third position. And I just teach this because it comprises the notes that you're going to be playing in third position. So it's D, E flat, F, and G. Those are all the notes that we're playing in third position in this whole song. So that's step 2, is their mini third position scale. And this is going to be their finger position for that. You can do twinkle rhythms, different slurs, anything like that to help them get comfortable with that. And then the next thing I do is just only practice the third position stuff in measures 4 through 8. So that's literally all it is in that section. We'll do more later, but just get comfortable with that. And then you'll do measure 4 plus the 3 notes of measure 5. So you're practicing that initial shift. Get really comfortable with that. And then you'll do measure 4, measure 5, and 1 note of measure 6. And the reason I do a few notes past shifting back to first position is to make sure their hand is totally back in first. Sometimes they'll go like this, and they'll think they have it, but then they can't play in first position after that. So help them practice really getting their whole hand and adding those couple of notes. And then you can try all of 4 through 8. All right, in section A2, same section, measures 12 through 16, I use the same practice pattern as I did above, getting between the Ds, your mini third position scale, just the third position stuff, getting into the third position stuff, and then doing a couple notes past and finishing the section. The next thing I teach is at the end of the piece, B2. In measure 27, we've got some funky fingering patterns. So we'll just do it separate, hooked, and then slurred. Hooked. And slurred. Spend a lot of time on that. The next thing I teach is just surrounding that area, 25 to 28. And then after that, I teach all of Minuet 2. And then I go back and I teach all of Minuet 1. And Minuet 1 is the same as what they've been playing in book 1, but a little bit fancier. So point out the ornaments that make it fancy. Just to keep in mind, the squigglies are the note plus the note above and back to the note. For instance, in measure 8 of Minuet 2. And the squiggly with the line through it is the note below and then back to the note. For instance, in measure 13 of Minuet 2. So you can point that difference out to them, and then as they're learning Minuet 1, you can see if they can figure that out on their own because you've explained it in Minuet 2. So take this one nice and slow with all the shifting. It's the first song they've shifted in, but it's a good one to transition into because they're really familiar with the tune already.